Well, Delta is allowing passengers to reschedule their flights for what they say could be a, quote, potentially challenging 4th of July holiday weekend. The airline is making the move amid industry-wide delays and cancellations due to the pandemic. Customers will not have to pay a fare difference. Delta says this waiver is available across their system, provided the origin and destination airports remain the same. You know, we're saying Delta is allowing you to do this. First of all, I know you're traveling this weekend. This is not a good sign after what we saw last weekend. We're just checking the numbers. 3,000 delays, 19,000 delays, 3,000 flights canceled. But, I mean, this is just the beginning, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, July 4th weekend, you imagine, would be even busier than perhaps, the Juneteenth weekend when you consider that there's going to be a lot of kind of people trying to travel specifically to the shores, right? The summery destinations with that extra holiday. On Monday, I'm personally flying out on Sunday, so hopefully I avoid some of that. But just the anecdotes that we know, right? There's going to be nothing different from, the Juneteenth weekend to the July 4th weekend in terms of the labor shortages that the airlines are experiencing, the shortages in the air traffic controller towers themselves, airport staff. I heard a story about someone that flew into a small town airport last week, and there was only 2 gates and I think only 1 operator of the gate. What is it? Like that thing that actually extends the gate out to the plane. So these are all things that are going to be happening this weekend as well. So there's going to be a lot of bottlenecks.
Well, and to be clear, Delta's not saying you can reschedule at any time. You have to be traveling between July 1st and 4th. You have to rebook by July 8th. But this is essentially the airline saying, look, there's going to be cancellations. If you want to try and avoid that, just don't travel this weekend. And I keep wondering whether people are looking at this and saying, well, is it still worth traveling? I will tell you, anecdotally, last week I was traveling from Toronto back to New York. My flight was delayed. It wasn't as bad. But our reporter, Ali, was stuck at the airport overnight because the flights were canceled. And you just think delays have become sort of the norm here, but it is just not fun and pleasant to fly right now.
No, not at all. And, even if your plane is on time, the experience at the airport is going to be very unpleasant because guess what? You want to go get a coffee at Starbucks, where you're going to have to wait in a massive line because everyone else in New York City is also at LaGuardia at the same time. So it's just I think a lot of people will actually bite on this. I mean, I'm not going to change my travel plans, but I imagine some people will bite on this because, look, they might be looking at, let's say, for example, they wanted to fly in somewhere, rent a car from that point in time, go road trip around. Gas prices are very high right now. Mm-hmm. All the logistics and just the cost of all of this might incentivize people to say, you know what, I'm just going to scrap those plans. But, for me, I'm going to go to the airport. Maybe this is a dangerous game to play, but maybe I'm in one of those situations where the airline says, like, oh, we'll give you like a massive voucher. We'll give you like $1,000 to rebook.
Would you take it?
Oh, absolutely.
You would?
Yeah, and my barrier is very low too. They could throw me like a voucher to like the Popeyes or something.
But people have a limited time to travel, right? You only have so many vacation days. So if you delay that, then what happens?
Yeah.
You just cancel the flight altogether.
Yeah, you could just cancel the vacation altogether. I mean, rebook for some other time. I mean, I know of people who are booking vacations and like they've booked it ahead of time, but they can't get the logistics across the finish line because they can't find a rental car and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe this incentivizes them to just say, you know what, it's already been logistically difficult in this reopening to do it. I'm just going to scrap it. So we'll see. But I'll keep you updated on how my trip to
follow your
Portland
Twitter feed
goes. Exactly. Yeah, let's leave that there for now.